In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories. If you're going to plead guilty, which hopefully none of you will ever be in this situation, but if you are, when the judge is threatening you and increasing the fine each time by $500, maybe it's not the best time to fight for your First Amendment rights. That is the most unrealistic thing I have ever seen. You don't get to just argue with the judge after they've made their ruling. That's not allowed. Moving right into season 14, episode 3. This episode is titled 25 Acts, and the description is a famous TV host forces himself on the young author of an erotic novel. So let's see what this one's about.
Ms. Paley, could you tell the jury why you agreed to say you wrote this book?
I had college debt. My parents are working class. We needed the money.
So you didn't write one word of the book. You're not into being dominated.
I was playing a role. It's not me.
But it was you who flirted with the defendant and went home with him that night.
It all seemed glamorous at first. He was charming. I wanted to have sex until he started hurting me.
So this is an interesting approach because this is a direct examination, but it seems like a cross-examination because of how he's acting toward the witness. This is definitely a strategy. However, on direct examination, you are supposed to ask open-ended questions. What happened next? Where did you go? What did you do? Things like that. He's definitely leading a little bit, and he's definitely kind of treating the witness like she's a hostile witness, which gives you the ability to do that. So that's interesting. I'm not really sure where he's going with that, but let's see.
And what did you do then?
Open-ended question.
Did he? Did he? I know this is difficult.
So what he just did there is a way of connecting the jury to the witness when he said, I know this is difficult. That's something a lot of attorneys do intentionally, and it is to draw attention that the witness is about to say something that's very hard for them to say, aka very important for the jury to hear. It's a good way to show empathy toward the witness, acknowledge their feelings, and give a little heads up to the jury that they should probably pay attention to what's coming next.
No, he did not. He forced himself inside me, choked me with his belt. I couldn't talk. The more I cried, the more he hurt me.
And the next night, Miss Paley, what happened then?
Notice his voice and his tone softened.
Kane stalked me at a magazine party, trapped me in an elevator, and raped me. Again.
Can you tell the jury what consequences you face for telling the truth here today?
His tone has gotten a lot softer. Again, he's trying to build that connection between the witness and the jury, and he's doing a great job.
I have to return all of my royalties. My reputation is ruined. I've wanted to write my whole life.
Thank you, Miss Paley.
How many times have you lied about writing the book 25 Acts?
I'm not sure.
You lied when you consented to have your name on the cover.
Yes.
And you lied at speaking engagements, parties, and interviews in over 10 cities on your book tour.
Yes.
And you lied on Mr. Kane's TV show?
So the defense attorney is doing an excellent job here diminishing the witness's credibility. To the average person, it might just sound like she's asking questions, but to a trained ear, it's you lied blank, you lied blank, you lied blank. The jury is just hearing you lied over and over. And that is definitely going to affect their perception of this witness and whether she's actually telling the truth. So again, the defense attorney is doing a wonderful job on cross-examination here.
So, Jocelyn, tell me, why do women want to be dominated?
Women do it all these days. Career, kids. Sometimes they just want a man to throw them down and take control.
And is this your personal fantasy?
My fantasy, being here with you.
Was what we just saw a lie too.
I was playing a part, flirting.
Playing a role for publicity, money.
Yes.
What else would you do for money? Lie about rape? Sue my clients?
No, I would never do that.
You wouldn't lie about sex for money.
No.
But you have lied about sex for money in the past.
I am telling the truth now.
I see. And how do you expect the jury to tell the difference? Withdrawn?
Yeah, objection argumentative. Oh my goodness. You guys probably saw that Barba, who's the prosecuting attorney, opened his mouth and was about to talk, and before he even said a word, the defense attorney withdrew her question. That to me is a common thing throughout this entire show, is just attorneys saying off the wall stuff and then just being like, withdrawn. Yeah, the jury's already heard it. The bell cannot be unrung. You don't get to just say crazy stuff and then just say withdrawn and pretend like it never happened in real life, nearly as much as it happens in this show, if at all. So that was a little bit unrealistic and would probably raise an issue in a real trial.
Professor Dobson, did you write 25 acts?
Yes, I'm afraid so. The entire book.
And who decided to put Jocelyn Paley on the cover?
I did. I knew that talk show hosts wouldn't want to discuss my sexual fantasies.
So, these fantasies in the book, these are your fantasies, not Jocelyn's.
Yes, all of them.
Before Jocelyn agreed to help you, did she know the subject matter?
Hardly. When she read the draft, she was shocked. That's when I knew she'd be the perfect front.
Why was that?
She was a sweet girl, and the contrast between her innocence and the book's intense sexuality was compelling.
Has it been hard for you to out yourself?
In my world, I'm between a pariah and a laughingstock. That's why I wanted to use Jocelyn's name. But to think that someone would ascribe my fantasies to her and use that as a smokescreen for assault, well, it sickens me.
Oof.
About
Yeah,
those
end on
fantasies
that.
in your book, did anyone else know that Jocelyn Paley wasn't the real author?
Speculation.
So the rest of the world, including Mr. Kane, believed the book was based on Jocelyn Paley's fantasies.
Speculation.
I suppose so.
That she
Objection.
was the one who
Speculation.
fantasized about being dominated.
Anyone?
Having rough sex, having sex in an elevator.
Yes.
And you chose Ms. Paley because she was a sweet, innocent girl.
Yes.
You're a college professor. You must see a lot of sweet, innocent girls.
Not as many as you'd think.
What made Jocelyn Paley the right choice?
As I said, it was the contrast between her innocence and the subject matter.
Or was it because she's a good liar? Didn't you choose Jocelyn Paley because she is a convincing enough liar to sell 5 million copies of a book about a fetishistic world that she claims to know nothing about?
Objection.
Withdrawn.
Again, with the objection withdrawn. Oh my goodness. And another thing, the fact that the attorneys keep going up to the witness stand and literally leaning on it and then walking away and talking with their back turned to the witness, very unrealistic. You usually have to ask to approach the witness so you are not seen as badgering the witness and intimidating them. And you would typically be looking at someone when you're talking to them, right? I mean, come on.
Did you rape Miss Paley?
I don't need to rape anyone, thank you. I do fine with volunteers.
So, you've had a lot of girlfriends.
My fair share. It helps to have a hit TV show, plus I've been told that my company isn't entirely unpleasant.
Have you ever played the dominant role in sexual games?
I follow my partner's lead. If that's their pleasure, I'm glad to oblige.
What was Ms. Paley's pleasure?
A mutually satisfactory, rough sex game initiated by her. Her false accusation is unfortunate. It smears real victims of rape who may not be believed.
Move to strike.
Just answer the questions, Mr. Kane.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Yeah, that last little statement by the witness there was a little out of pocket. Typically you would object, make an actual objection, and then move to strike the witness's testimony. And what moving to strike does is it strikes it from the record so that when the jury goes back to deliberate and they get a transcript of the entire trial, that statement is not there. In theory, the jury should erase it from their minds as if they never heard it. But again, once you ring the bell, it cannot be unrung.
Jocelyn and I, there was a lot of heat. It was exciting.
She remembers it differently.
She was playing the role of a sexual submissive.
Counsel's
not just playing
testifying
victim.
right there.
Pretending to be a sexual submissive?
She just told us that.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't comment on the witness's testimony. Like saying, she remembers it differently, or that's right, that like those types of things, you're not supposed to say that. And again, the other attorney should be objecting, but it's a show.
That's right, that's right. She was inexperienced. But you weren't.
Not entirely.
Mr. Kane, what excites you about having sex with Jocelyn?
What excites anyone about sex?
Was it the belt? The belt, that was her idea, even though she was pretending.
She wanted to try role play.
How do you start something like that?
With the belt?
Yeah, I mean, you take your belt off, or you...
That's right.
And then you give her a few hits with it.
She seemed to enjoy it.
Then you put the belt around her neck.
Yes.
And then you get behind her, tighten it.
Yes.
Again, you
Increase
can't
the pleasure.
just
I'm not
walk
sure
up
what
to the
this has
witness
to
like
do
with
this.
me. Where was the buckle?
I don't know if I can be more specific. Would you like me to show you?
Well, actually,
Objection, Your Honor.
as a regular Joe, I am curious about how this belt around the neck thing is exciting. I am sure, Your Honor, that the jury is curious as well.
Creative argument.
I'll allow it. For now.
Okay, so when a judge says they will allow it for now, it is basically them acknowledging the objection that was made, telling the attorney that they're not necessarily wrong, but they will allow it and see where it goes. And it's basically kind of like, hey, renew your objection if it goes too far. It's the judge putting counsel on a short leash, so to speak. And yes, that was a pun, since the belt is presumably about to go around his neck.
So let's go back. You took off your belt.
That's right.
You did it, not her.
Correct.
You looped the belt like this.
This is...
Something like that.
You led her to the bed, got on top, pulled it.
The game she wanted to play.
She's the one who wanted it rough.
Yes.
But you didn't rape her.
No, we've gone over this. What don't you get?
Oh, I get it. It's the classic mindset of the rapist. Admit what you can't deny what you can't admit.
Again,
Withdraw.
counsel
You said that she wanted it
testifying.
rough, so show me how she likes it.
Okay, whoa.
Show me. Let me see how she liked it.
This is going a little far. At this point, the defense attorney should definitely renew their objection, asking the witness to tug on the belt and choke you for purposes of a demonstrative aid. Not realistic. That is not going to happen in real life. Oh my gosh. Again, never say never and nothing's impossible, but a more realistic version of this would be to bring in a mannequin head or something of that nature, put the belt around the mannequin head. But again, I don't really see how you would get that in an open court. Like, the judge is not going to allow this. It's just not going to happen.
Objection.
Let's proceed cautiously, Mr. Barber.
All right, take the belt in your hands, Mr. Kane. Feel the leather. Hold the belt. Now show me how you pulled on the belt. You can do better than that.
This is
call that being
not. This
dominant?
is so
Show.
unrealistic.
Show me.
No.
Pull it.
He's
Pull
not
it.
even asking questions
Pull it.
anymore.
Tell me how you like it. Show me how you like it, Mr. Kane. Come on, pull it. Pull it.
This.
All right, that is enough, Mr. Barber.
Not a mark.
This would never happen.
Not a mark. Not a mark. People's Exhibit 20, Jocelyn Paley's neck after their consensual sex game. Is this what excites you about sex, Mr. Kane? Hurting your victims.
She liked it like that.
You mean Jocelyn? You liked it like that. She didn't.
I don't even know what else to say about that other than what I've already said. Again, that is the most dramatic, theatrical showing of a demonstrative for the purposes of jury understanding that I have ever seen. Maybe that's a lie, because I've seen most of this show and this happens often. But again, that would never, ever, ever happen in real life for several reasons. I'm sure you guys can understand and imagine why. And again, counsel, I appreciate what he did. I respect what he did. He made his point, okay? His point was made. But You don't get to just say she didn't like that, you like that. There's no questions being asked here. And the fact that the other counsel was just not objecting that entire time and just let that happen would never happen in real life. Would never happen. With that being said, I really enjoyed reacting to these courtroom scenes today. And again, I'm sure there's plenty more that I could react to, so let me know what you guys are interested in down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye, and go thrive.